Okay, we're back, and what started out as a evaluation on a Warmblood that, as many horses that I'm asked about have the heels trimmed out, has now turned into the discovery of the who, what, why, where, when, and how of my Jackie Pony's chronic laminitis. And I knew that it was because of me trimming the heels out. Okay, I discovered that a while back. I've been trying to restore the heels, having difficulty with that. Um, just when I think I'd about get it, it just wasn't working out, and so I've made some more discoveries on how to trim the bars, how to trim the frog to try and open up that foot, which I'm going to show you here in a minute, to get that heel growing back in and to release that cartilage so it will come off that coffin bone and quit pushing that coffin bone up in the back in the center of the foot, which pulls the dorsal wall down and back, causing constant separation of the lamina between the hoof wall and the dorsal wall of the inner foot, and constant laminar wedges. And like I said, I was constantly chasing the toe, trying to get that breakover back, breakover back, breakover back. And the more I did it, the more I saw the foot became a tube. And so it went from a slipper foot, which eventually I'll show you a picture of that, where the toe was way out there and going long, to a club foot, and then to a tube. And I could also see as I was going through this process, that eventually that horse was going to totally knuckle over. Um, that's where the foot just tips over and they can't stand upright. Thank goodness that I was able to prevent that. But as this whole process was going on, I was seeing it could go there. You know, so okay, so this is another picture. Okay, the first pictures I showed you the most recent, and then I showed you back from 2012, where I was gradually trimming the heels out of the pony. And I showed you the hairline and back, and I showed you the bulb skin and what it looked like. Wait a minute, let's see. Nope, this isn't it. Just a minute. Okay, this is the picture I showed you of what it was like in 2012. That's January, February, March, April, May. Okay, May of 2012. I had this going on. All right, and then I showed you the picture of the foot where the hairline was very pointed. Okay, so that would be, see how the hairline goes like this, very pointed, because all this cartilage has been pushed up that way. Let's see here. Okay, I wanted to compare these two again. Okay, this was just a few days ago, right here. Okay, this was in 2012, and you can see the difference here in the hairline. You see that? Okay, this is when I was just starting to trim her into laminitis. Now, I didn't know it here. Okay, and I see a lot of barefoot horses whose heels look just like this. Okay, let's see. Now, where was that picture? Okay, now again, this is in May or January, February, March, May of 2012. Okay, now this is in December. Well, it said 12/12, but I don't know how it could be December and still have green grass. And that has snow. I don't know what's going on here. Got my dates mixed up. It might be reversed. I'm not sure, but I don't think so. Because this one says this was a founder trim, that she had foundered by this time. I'll have to go through this and get the dates exactly right. But I'm pretty sure that this one here is after this, in the spring after this one here. So let's take a look at this. What's going on? I saw. Okay, that's not her foot. This is her foot. Okay, see, I have noticed here you can see where the frog is really being pulled under the foot and the heels here are getting hollow. See, this is be where the original heel was here, but it's all being pulled forward under the foot. So this is becoming hollow and the foot is getting shortened up right here. The frog, everything is starting to bend and be pushed under the foot. Okay, remember this foot here? See how this frog corium and everything is being pushed forward? That is exactly what is happening right here. Okay, and that was going to make your heel that should have been in here, that's going to make it start getting very hollow. Because actually, this should be full of sole. It shouldn't be hollowed out like this. Now, see, I was taking these pictures like this for a reason. All right, and I was amazed at how much sole, exfoliatable sole, I was getting in the heel. Well, that was because this heel that had been back here was being pushed forward, and all this. See, what happens is anywhere on the coriums that gets covered up by something else, it will quit growing. Your heel buttress will quit growing. Things like that. If the frog grows up and lays over the sole will quit growing underneath it. It chokes it out. And so as the heels were getting pushed forward and they were hollowing out here, all that sole was dying off, and that's why I was getting so much weird exfoliatable sole out of the heels. And that's why I was taking these pictures. And see, and then yet the sole was very thin, because see, as you trim the heels out and then you can't get any sole, and you get thin sole in the rest of your foot. It just will not build up any real good sole most of the time. This sole was very thin right here. So yeah, see, it's all being pushed forward. The hairline is getting weirder right here. Got a weird kind of arch right here. Okay, well, I had to leave and go do some things. Now I'm back and don't remember where I was, but the point is that by sometime in 2012, within 5 months or so, I had trimmed this pony into mechanical laminitis without realizing it. Now I can look at the feet and I can tell what's going on, but then I had no idea, because this all happened so gradually. You know, you saw the pictures of the feet before, they did not look that bad. It all happened so gradually that you don't even realize it's growing on. Growing, same thing, growing or going on. Okay, so I'm going to show you all the different ways that her feet morphed into that I can find. And this is all from trimming out the heels. Okay, I'm not sure when this was, but at one point, I thought that I knew what was wrong, and I went through this period because when I was trimming the heels out of my horses, and this periopal skin, the hoof capsule is coming out and moving forward, and the bulbs are kind of being dumped out the back. I went through this period where you would see this, they just had big bulbs, and I thought, hey, maybe this is the way the horse's foot is supposed to be. I understand they're supposed to have big bulbs. Well, that was not the truth. That was the cartilage all being dumped out the back of the foot and the periopal skin stretching over it. And so had this image in my mind, and that is what I trimmed ultimately into this pony. Say, look at that. That's just the hoof capsule's trimmed out to here, and this is all the cartilage just being stretched around. She's starting to get laminar wedges. I'm trying to prevent them. During the whole time, the soles never seemed to be bad. And without taking pictures, you couldn't even tell. See, now what I do there, I put a little groove because I could see the horn tubules wanting to grow forward like that. So I was doing that to try and keep the heels from running forward with the toes. See, that looks pretty awful. See, because she's starting to be slipper footed here. Look at that periopal skin. See, again, that periopal skin should end right here. It should be the same width as the coronary band all the way going around the back of the foot. But when you trim the heels out, okay, it stretches down here. Now what's happening is, as I'm trimming the heels out, the cartilage is pulling back up. But it's attached down here to the bottom of the heel. There. Now you can see that the hairline is starting to go down like this. Now, they don't all manifest the same exact way. Okay, see the difference in the hairline here? Okay, now let's compare. See the hairline? Not as bad, but see the bulbs are sitting down on the ground here. There should be heel up like this. Okay, now this is later. Okay, as the frog is being pulled in and all the cartilage is being folded in to the center of the foot and is pushing up the rear of the coffin bone, and the toe of the coffin bone is coming back, she's got laminitis. Mechanical trimming induced mechanical laminitis. And there is a multitude of different degrees of this going on, and you know, these horses go along, and then the next thing you know, you wake up one morning, you go out there, your horse is doing a laminitis walk, and you're wondering why, and oh, what did he eat? And most of the time it's not anything they eat, it's the way they were trimmed over time. Finally the straw came that broke the camel's back. Okay, now you can see the hairline, the difference, right? Okay, look at that foot. Let's see if we can find this picture of this foot here. Now, all my feet were the same. I mechanically trimmed them into laminitis all the same. So at least I made matched feet. See? See how that's starting to come out like this? Again, why? Because I trimmed out the heels. It's pulling all that cartilage forward and under the foot. Okay, this is in 3-8-13. As you can see, the foot, you're going to see here, the foot is starting to get a real laminar wedge here. Okay, now remember how I showed you the cartilage is pulled down this way, and it pushes up into the back of the coffin bone right here, which pushes the coffin bone up in the back, which then tips the front of the coffin bone back, and then you start getting a laminar wedge because then the wall starts coming out this way. It's literally tearing the lamina apart in the dorsal wall here. We're going to look at these. This was the before trim, I believe. Okay. Doesn't look too bad. Uh-oh, look what I found. See? Didn't know that was under there till I scribed in there with the knife, and that's the start of that laminar wedge. Yep. Laminar wedge in the toe. So I tried to take the back over, the breakover back. Like I said, you know, I've been chasing a toe for 2012. What is it? 2017? 5 years? One chronic. I just about get her grown out, and she seemed to be fine. And then wham! She would rotate again. And it's all because of the heels being trimmed out and that cartilage never being released. Now, look, that doesn't look bad, does it? Looks relatively normal, but that is not her true foot. Okay. Okay, here I tried to get the breakover back. You know, didn't think it looked too bad, but what's happening is that coffin bone is starting to stand on its toe and it's tipping the short pastern bone over towards this direction. Now it's going to turn in from, I have some other pictures somewhere where it got real slipper footed. And what you'll see is it'll turn from a slipper foot to a club foot. There you go. Again, the sole doesn't look that bad, does it? Okay, it finally got so I was casting the feet. You can see I have a cast on here. That's what the sole looked like. This is 2014. Okay, 2015. Get it almost grown out. She'd rotate again, and there would be a laminar wedge here that I'd be trying to grow out. Now you see that the foot is turning into a tube. It got very clubby, and now it's turning into a tube. Yeah, pretty awful. I put some grooves in it to try and keep the wall growing down straight and not following out the laminar wedge, which was coming clear out here. See how she's just standing up. The foot is like a tube. See again what's happening. Now I know what's happening. The cartilage. I'm starting to grow the heels by this time. I have figured it out, and I'm trying to grow the heels. But what I'm not realizing is that all this cartilage has been pulled down and under. See, the feet just won't stay stable. Okay, see, you can see how the back of the foot is pulled down and under right there. Those are the back feet. Again, several months later, 215. Just get them almost grown out, like I say, and then get the wall almost grown down, and then she would rotate again. Okay, but it is looking a little bit better back here. You see that? It isn't quite so pointed, and it's starting to be a little bit defined here, and there's heels growing. So it was improving a little bit behind. There's what the soles look like. Soles can look the same almost through the whole situation. Okay, here it all seemed to be growing out pretty well, I thought. Looking a little bit better. See there? Looks like it's growing out a little bit better. See, not bad. Didn't look bad anyway, but still, the cartilage is still bent under down here. This is how the back of the foot looked then. This was in July. Oh, I think this was July this year. July 21st of 017. So, okay, now she rotated again after this. No, I was wrong. That was July of 21st of 2015. Okay. This is August of 2015. Again, this toe kept wanting to shoot out that way. The only way I could keep it back was to put a groove in it and take the breakover way back. Like I said, I was just chasing the toe, chasing the toe. And yeah, I did start to grow the heels, but I didn't at that time really understand what was going on with the cartilage here. See, it's looking better, not quite so imbalanced. Okay, and this is looking better back here too. See the hairline, not so pointed, not so pulled under. But at this time, I still didn't know quite about the heel buttress. And so I was growing the heels for a different reason, to work with the horn tubules, and so that they wouldn't be on such a slant shooting forward. What happened here is I trimmed the heels down again and she rotated again. And it was not long after this that I discovered the truth about the heel buttress and how we'd been trimming the heels out of our horses. I just like to have her back to here right now. Here's a few months later, she rotated again. See how the hairline and the heels changes? That's what the sole looks like. And what you don't know, okay, see where the apex of the frog is there? You think your toe is real smart, but what you don't know is when the foot rotated, okay, it pulled up in the back, and this is not the true apex anymore. It's more like back here. That's what it looked like then. Again, this is still 2015, around the end of 2015, and I think it was February of 2016 that I discovered the heel buttress. Yeah, a few months later, foot going crazy again. Look at the toe. Now look how strange the back of this looks. Because when the foot rotates, weird stuff happens here. As the frog, as this part, okay, it rotates, and then the rear pulls up out of the original frog here, and all the periopal stretches with it. It is now January of 2016, and I've got monster foot again. Now, look how weird that looks. See how pointed the hairline has gotten here? Remember, the hairline's supposed to be almost straight across. See the stretched periopal here? You know, there's just a lot of pressure pulling this foot apart in here. Here's what the soles look like. Okay, so I can look at my pictures and I can tell when I just discovered the understanding of the heel buttress and how we were trimming the heels out of the horse. Well, I'd been growing heels before that, but for a different reason, to work with horn tubules to get them to come back, to give the back more elevation, to stand the horn tubules more up on edge so they would come back. But I hadn't realized yet that the heel buttress needed to be longer and that I had been trimming the heels out of the horse. And so that didn't happen till like the end of January and into February. And that's when I started doing the tack mapping and the videos on the heel buttress. So, right before I discovered the heel buttress, I took her heels down again and she rotated worse than ever. And I got this really tube distorted foot, a straight up foot with the laminar wedge. So try and fix that. Let's see here. Yeah, try and fix that. There's still, see, you can see the hairline here. Now, if I were to take this heel out, and this ain't her actual heel. This is the side wall. All the cartilage and everything is pulled up under there, and we're not even to the heel buttress yet. Look at the back of that foot. See the stretched periopal, the weirdness. See, this is sidewall. This is not. If you remember a few videos ago or a video ago, I showed you. Just a minute. Well, I couldn't find it, but I showed you how the hairline is supposed to be straight across like this, and then the periopal just about right under it, like that. The coronary band and all that. Now, one thing about it, okay, in my trimming, I trimmed equally bad on both sides so that both sides matched. So people can do that. Yeah. See, there's really no heel buttress here. This is just sidewall grown forward. The heel buttress is under here. See, if this was to come back up and be straight across, this would be wider as well. The foot would be wider right here. Okay, now this is current. You can see stretched periopal. She's still got weird things going on. And I've been growing the heels like crazy. See the way that's curved like that? See, the cartilage is still pulled under the foot. Okay, here I'm showing you where a periopal flap has let loose right here on this sidewall. See it right there? That's what the sole looks like. That's how deep the collateral grooves are because the foot is rotating. As the toe is coming back, the back of the foot goes up as well. See, that's pretty deep. That's not correct. You know, that's not just sole. This is a distorted, rotated foot. There you go. Now, she walks around pretty good. You know, she's not in excruciating pain or nothing like that. There's been, it really through the whole thing, she's never had the real founder walk or laminitis walk, but she's not just sound by any means either. You know, she's had bouts of going back and forth. Okay, so this is after that trim, and this is what the foot looks like. And this is before I realized that, hey, this cartilage is pushing the coffin bone up that way and causing this situation here. So I've got to come up with a way to release this cartilage and release the back of the foot so that this wall can all grow back in here.
So I did this foot
Okay,
the
so
other
I made
day
this video. Let you
where
watch a bit
I took
of
the
it.
bars way down and I took the frog way down. And you see what's happened is the heels have been trimmed out and all this is forward. And this wall right here that curves down should be clear back here like this. See how that curves around and down there? I don't know if you can see it or not. Get this over here. See this wall, how that curves like that? Should be straight like this. Consequently, all this is like this. We don't have the true heel buttress here or the bar. I took the bars way down, and also you want to come way, 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 way up in here, so that all this heel is going to come loose and come back because it's all being held forward by bar. So we're just going to clean this up again. Take these bars down again. See how I'm just following the bar down? I don't know if you can even see that. I'm trying to do it so you can see it. Releasing the bar from the wall right here. Pony is rocking a little bit. See, I don't want any bar going over like this. Hold on, pony. Get way up there. I mean, way, way, way up here.
So this is a trim that I have not
Holy.
really done very much of, but I noticed when I started doing it, and I'll show you pictures, that my hairline started
Making sure
changing
I
in
release
back
all this
and the
bar so
foot
this heel
started
can go
being
back.
released. Um, so what I'm doing is trying to get way, way back on that wall and on that bar into the very back to
Okay, I
release
want you to see
all this
how I got
cartilage
in
and
there.
this
I don't know if you
distortion
can see
that's
that.
going on.
See? Way down and in there. Ah, okay. Okay. Let her put her foot down a little bit. Okay. Give me your foot. Now do the other bar. I'll try and do it so you can see over here. So you want to go straight down that bar. Follow it down. Following it. Clean out this heel a little bit right around here. See there? Uh-oh. She got a cough right now. See, up in this corner, you want to get that way, way out in there. Way up around this wall. This is not the heel buttress. The heel buttress is buried. This is the wall and the bar that have merged together to form a false buttress. Okay.
I just said a whole bunch and this thing wasn't going. Ah. Okay, this is on 419, this is on 423, and this is on 424. And in the video you saw where I came way up around the edge of the wall. And what I wound up doing was taking out the whole back here and the bar, taking the bar way, way down, hoping that it would release this foot, and it did, as you see here. So I'm going to keep doing that to see if I can keep getting this hairline to straighten out. You see the difference in the hairline here? See, from this day, I took some bar out and come way up around the corner like that. Remember how I kept saying in the video, come way up around here, way up around the wall. Okay, right there where the wall and the bar meet. Okay, and so I did that. I did it here. I didn't really trim the foot much. I just did that, and I didn't take off any frog. But here, I took the frog, the whole foot down like this. And then I went out the next day and I took pictures. And I want you to look at the difference in the hairline and how the foot spread out, the heels spread out.